this week. I'm your host, Gotmark76. A great weekend of wrestling action took place as the World Wrestling Federation presented Saturday night's main event. We have a new World Heavyweight Champion, so without further ado, let's get into Gotmark76 this week. This week in the World Wrestling Federation, Saturday night's main event is in the books. We have a new World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion as Andre the Giant defeated Hulk Hogan this past Saturday night. We also saw a heinous attack at the hands of Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff as he pile-drove Intercontinental Champion Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on the concrete floor at the conclusion of their match. Ricky Steamboat retained the title, but he has left Hershey, Pennsylvania with a severe neck injury, and he has very little time to rest, as it has been announced that next week here on this program, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat will defend the Intercontinental title against Ravishing Rick Rude. This week's feature match in the World Wrestling Federation will see Big John Studd taking on one half of Demolition, Axe. Let's head down the ringside. And there's the bell, Big John Studd taking on Demolition Axe. And a big suplex by Big John Studd has Axe up, and that is a long way down the fall if you are Demolition Axe. And here he comes, up and down to the mat goes Axe. Demolition, of course, had their opportunity this past weekend to win the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship. They did not succeed on that endeavor. The Hart Foundation retained. And now Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy moving up the rankings. They, of course, defeated the Hart Foundation in a non-title match a few weeks ago. As Axe now stomping away on Big John Studd. King Kong Bundy in the corner of Big John Studd, not Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan, of course, off celebrating and working on his managerial duties for the new World Wrestling Federation champion Andre the Giant. What a match that was this past weekend. As Big John Studd with a series of forearms to the chest of Axe. Oh man, that is a 360-pound man. And down to the mat goes Axe, and over the top goes Big John Studd. He's following him out to the floor. The referee has begun a count. Both of these men would be what you would consider rule breakers here in the World Wrestling Federation, but they all want the same thing, and that's the World Tag Team Championship currently held by the Hart Foundation. Big John Studd having his way right now with Axe, but a back and forth matchup thus far. Of course, all the cylinders in the Heenan family are firing at the same time. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff with that heinous attack on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the conclusion of their contest. Of course, Steamboat pinned Orndorff to retain the Intercontinental Championship, but Orndorff had the last word when he pile drove Steamboat on the concrete floor after the match. And now, Ravishing Rick Rude will have his opportunity next week. And we know for sure that Steamboat will not be entering that match at 100%. Bobby Heenan currently has the World Heavyweight Champion. Next week, he could have the Intercontinental Champion. And if Bundy and Studd ever get a World Tag Team title opportunity, when the titles are on the line, he could be the manager of all the champions here in the World Wrestling Federation. A power slam down to the mat goes Axe. And Studd stomping away on Demolition Axe. This was a back and forth contest, but Big John Studd has been in control the last several minutes. Elbow drop to the back of the neck. And Axe is in a world of trouble. Studd goes for the cover. That might be all. I think he knocked him out. 2 and 3. That elbow drop by Big John Studd. I think he knocked out Demolition Axe. Nailing him on the back of that. We should check Axe. Make sure he doesn't have a concussion. Look at this. Right. Look at what that. Oh, my Lord. That was the upper neck. The head, I mean, everywhere. The neck, the head, he hit it. With that big, massive a body that Big John Studd has. And your winner, Big John Studd. And you know that the Hennig family wants another shot at the World Tag Team Championship. Will President Jack Tunney grant them that match? Stay tuned. So Big John Studd with a big victory, no pun intended, over Demolition Axe, and one has to wonder if and when the Hennig family will receive an opportunity at the Hart Foundation for the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships. This week in the NWA, Ivan Koloff made contact with Nikita. We will be bringing you that momentarily here on Gotmark76 this week. And of course, it was announced that the Total Package Lex Luger will receive an NWA World Title match against Nature Boy Ric Flair. That match has been signed and will be our big main event next week here on Gotmark76 this week. Our NWA feature match this week will see the Varsity Club take on the Midnight Express. The winners of this match will receive a U.S. Tag Team Championship match against the SuperPowers of Dusty Rhodes and the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff. Speaking of Nikita Koloff, Ivan Koloff came from Russia. He had been trying to mend fences with his nephew Nikita Koloff, and they caught up this past week. And let's take you to that interaction. Some strong words from Ivan Koloff to his nephew Nikita. I'm not sure I agree 100% with Ivan Koloff, but one thing I do agree on is that the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff can compete for any major championship in the NWA. Hell, he can compete for any major championship around the world. I'm not sure if Ivan Koloff is trying to plant seeds in the head of his nephew, but he even said, don't take his word for it, let Nikita find out for himself. And if I know Nikita Koloff like I think I do, then he and Dusty Rhodes have a legitimate shot at winning the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Let's head to our feature matchup this week, as the Varsity Club will take on the Midnight Express. The winners will receive a U.S. Tag Team Championship match against the SuperPowers here on Gotmark76 on May 30th. We will join that match in progress. Oh, and before Bobby could make a tag to Sweet Stan, Dr. Death fights his way out of the corner, scoop slam, up goes Bobby Eaton. Spinning around is Dr. Death, and where Bobby Eaton lands, nobody knows. Now Doc going for a cover, referee counts one, but a kick out at one by beautiful Bobby. Dr. Death ramming the head of Bobby Eaton into his knee, and here comes Mike Rotunda, Captain Mike. Now Eaton with a beautiful butterfly suplex. Up and over goes Rotunda. Of course, the winners of this match will get a U.S. Tag Team title match against the SuperPowers. It was the Midnight Express who the SuperPowers defeated for the U.S. Tag Team Championship. And one would think that they're automatically in line for the rematch. But the Varsity Club, and the Varsity Club, give them credit, all 4 members have been involved in the title scene here in the NWA. Here we have Dr. Death and Captain Mike, but pay attention to Rick Steiner and the Games Master Kevin Sullivan. As a snap suplex, up and over goes Rotunda. Beautiful Bobby able to kick out. And the fans here in the James L. Knight Center, well, I don't know who they're behind here. As the Midnight Express throws Rotunda into the ropes, double back body drop, up and over goes Captain Mike. And the Midnight Express in control. They want their U.S. Tag Team Championships back. They lost those titles without Jim Cornette being in their corner. And Jim Cornette is not at ringside here tonight. And we will see if the Midnight Express can get a victory without their manager at ringside, as Dr. Death has Stan Lane up and throws him up and over the floor. To the floor, I should say, over the top rope. And Sweet Stan is in trouble. There are no pads at ringside, fans. That is concrete, but Stan Lane wants to get that U.S. Tag Team Championship back. He got right up and went back into the ring and was met by Dr. Death. And again, Dr. Death in control. And Sweet Stan is in a world of trouble. And so are the chances of the Midnight Express getting a rematch for the U.S. Tag Team Championship. Oh, and Lane firing away. Insiguri takes down Dr. Death. And now Sweet Stan with a neck breaker on Dr. Death. Down goes Williams. And Stan, instead of going for the cover, is showboating to the fans. And now Sweet Stan working the arm of Dr. Death. But who knows if this match could have been over, as Stan sets up a pile driver, but back body drop by Dr. Death. Up goes Lane. The Varsity Club back in control. Dr. Death picks up Lane again. And a power slam. That could be all. But no, Doc goes for the cover now. Referee was out of position. 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Lane. The fans really have no idea who to cheer for here. I think both teams are known as rule breakers. As nice double team maneuver on the part of the Varsity Club, but Lane catches Rotunda, and now Lane sets up Rotunda for a suplex. Up goes Rotunda, and down to the mat goes Rotunda. Lane now goes for the cover. Referee will again out of position. 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Rotunda. And again, Lane not staying on top allows Rotunda to nail him with a clothesline. And Lane makes a tag, and here comes Beautiful Bobby. A nice suplex by Rotunda takes Eaton up and over. Rotunda makes a tag. Here comes Williams. Williams and Eaton going back at it again. Throwing over the top rope. Snapmare, and drops Eaton to the concrete floor. And Doc is following suit. And now Beautiful Bobby and Dr. Death fighting on the outside as Eaton throws Dr. Death into the steel steps. And now Beautiful Bobby showboating to the fans here in Miami. Eaton trying to work the arm of Dr. Death. If Eaton does enough punishment on the outside, maybe he can get a count-out victory here. Maybe that's what he's going for here. The count is up to 6. Dr. Death has a no, not on the concrete floor. Up and down goes Beautiful Bobby on the concrete floor, a suplex. And the Varsity Club in control. Bobby slides back into the ring, that broke the count. And now these two men continuing to do battle on the concrete floor. At ringside, Dr. Death drapes him and drops him across the edge of the ring. Down goes beautiful Bobby. Oh, and rams beautiful Bobby into the ring post. Shoulder first went beautiful Bobby. And Eaton might be hurt. Bobby climbs back into the ring, and a swinging neckbreaker takes down Doc. I think he lured him with a false sense of security. And now beautiful Bobby climbing the top rope. Could it be the Alabama Jam? He leaps and nails it off the top rope. Goes for the cover. And Dr. Death makes it to the ropes. I don't believe it. Beautiful Bobby tags in Sweet Stan. This match should be over. With Dr. Death able to make it to the ropes after beautiful Bobby hit the Alabama Jam. Now Lane continuing to work the neck of Dr. Death, makes a tag. Here come the frequent tags of the Midnight Express. Dr. Death caught beautiful Bobby off guard with a kick to the face, and now he makes a tag, and here comes Captain Mike. These two tag teams, top contenders to the U.S. and World Tag Team Championship. Of course, you can also add to that list the Powers of Pain, the Road Warriors, as Captain Mike goes for the cover. 1, 2, and broken up by Sweet Stan. Eaton now trying to fight back. Has Rotunda up and over with a suplex. Nicely done. Beautiful Bobby needs to make a tag. He heard me. Goes over, and here comes Sweet Stan again. Stan runs, charges, and ooh, Rotunda caught him with a DDT. He floated over top and caught Stan Lane with a DDT. And now the Varsity Club back in control. This back and forth match as Stan Lane goes for a pile driver, has him set up and nails him with it. Down goes Rotunda. Lane goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Rotunda. Could we see that Savat kick? No. Lane climbing the top rope. That's not something that's usually in his playbook. He leaps and nails a leg drop off the top rope. Can we call that the Florida Jam? Because Sweet Stan from Florida nailed beautiful Bobby's maneuver. Bobby goes for the cover. That's going to be all. 1, 2, and no, a kick out of 2 by Captain Mike Rotunda. Stan Lane, not known for climbing the top rope, he nailed what I would call it a Florida Jam instead of the Alabama Jam, but now Rotunda back in control. A nice underhook suplex takes beautiful Bobby up and over. And now the Varsity Club back in control. Rotunda rolls over Eaton, goes for the cover. Will that be enough to put away the Midnight Express 2? And oh, a kick out at 2 3/4 by beautiful Bobby. And now Rotunda up. Into a guillotine suplex. I don't think Bobby's going to kick out of that. But Rotunda doesn't go for the cover. Instead, he tags in Doc. And now Doc with a series of lefts, rights. Has Eaton up for a suplex, blocked by beautiful Bobby. Bobby now with a big forearm takes down Dr. Death. Bobby has but Dr. Death with a series of elbows to the midsection. Dr. Death has Bobby up and over with an overhead suplex. That could be enough to put away the Midnight Express. 1, 2, and 3. And the Varsity Club have earned a U.S. title shot on May 30th against the SuperPowers. And here are some highlights from earlier in the contest, with the Varsity Club earning a future U.S. Tag Team title match. That match will be here on May 30th against the SuperPowers. So the Varsity Club with a big victory over the Midnight Express, earning them a chance at the U.S. Tag Team Championship May 30th here on Gotmark76 this week. Momentum on the side of the Varsity Club at this time. This week in the AWA, we saw The top contenders to both the AWA and World Class Heavyweight title team up as Terry Funk teamed up with Curt Hennig to take on AWA World Champion Jerry the King Lawler and the World Class Heavyweight Champion, the modern-day warrior Kerry Von Erich. That is our big main event here on Gotmark76 this week. And there's the bell as Kerry Von Erich and Curt Hennig starting things off in this big tag team match. Of course, Curt Hennig, the #1 contender to the AWA World Heavyweight Championship. As Hennig on the top rope. Is he going to fly? No. Von Erich back in the ring. And Hennig thinks otherwise as Kerry catches Hennig with an inverted atomic drop. Up on the shoulder and draped across the top rope is Curt Hennig. Kerry Von Erich now going outside and is met. Oh no! He takes down Funk. I thought Funk had him lined up for an elbow, but Von Erich blocked it. And Von Erich now having his way with both Curt Hennig and Terry Funk. It was, of course, Kerry Von Erich who successfully defended the World Class Heavyweight Championship just last week against Terry Funk. We will see Curt Hennig get his opportunity at Jerry the King Lawler next week here on this program. As Von Erich now back in the ring. Can Hennig make it back in the ring before the count of 10? He does. Up and over goes Hennig. And a snapmare drops Hennig to the mat. On the outside floor here in the Sportatorium. And now Von Erich picks up Hennig, slams him into the side of the ring. Hennig trying to mount a comeback. Swept the leg of Von Erich, and now Hennig being chased by Von Erich. Hennig goes back into the ring. Von Erich follows suit. And now Von Erich taking Hennig to his corner. Rams the head of Hennig into the top turnbuckle, makes a tag, and here comes Jerry the King Lawler. Nice double team work on the part of the champions. As Von Erich rammed the head of Hennig into the legs of Lawler, but Lawler now in trouble as Funk tagged in by Hennig. And these two men going at it. Lawler now has Funk up on his top shoulder. Oh, and drops him down to the knee as opposed to his bottom shoulder. Goes for the cover, rolls over Funk, one, and a kick out at one by Terry Funk. Funk, of course, had that world title opportunity last week against Kerry Von Erich. Von Erich was able to successfully retain the World Class Heavyweight title. But Terry Funk, of course, also a top contender to the AWA title. But that #1 contender being Curt Hennig, he gets that opportunity next week against Jerry Lawler. As Funk drops Lawler head first into the top turnbuckle, makes a tag, and here comes Curt Hennig, a preview of next week's big main event for the AWA World Heavyweight Championship. As Hennig has Lawler up in a suplex, and down to the mat goes Jerry the King Lawler. Hennig's going for the cover. I think he's going to have to do more damage than that to put away the King. And a kick out at one. But again, it's, each time you go for the cover, it takes energy to kick out. So I think Hennig knew he wasn't going to get the pinfall there, but he had a chance to wear down Jerry the King Lawler. And now a DDT, and Lawler has been busted open. Hennig plants Lawler with that DDT. Lawler busted open. And now Hennig makes a tag, and here comes Funk. And I tell you what, he might as well have tagged the Great White Shark. Because Terry Funk, when he sees blood, he's on it. He climbs the top rope, has Lawler in position. And Funk sees the blood. He leaps, and a big axe handle down across the head of Lawler. Goes for the cover. Funk on top one, and a kick out at one by Lawler. And a big right hand takes down again. Funk saw the blood. Stayed on top, makes a tag, and here comes Hennig. And these two men with frequent tags trying to take out their bitter rivals as Hennig now goes for a figure four on Lawler in the middle of the ring. Can Lawler escape the figure 4 leg lock? Lawler, with a series of right hands, breaks the maneuver, but the damage may have been done to the leg of Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler with a DDT plants Hennig this time. Hennig with a snapmare takeover and snaps the neck of Jerry Lawler. We've seen that maneuver before. He goes for the cover, hooks the leg, and has his feet on the ropes. 1, 2, and 3. No, a kick out by Lawler. Hennig was trying to use the ropes for leverage. Lawler somehow able to kick out. And now Lawler back in control. Lawler with a series of lefts, rights, dropkick takes down Curt Hennig. Lawler making a comeback, drags Hennig to the center of the ring, and he now goes for a cover. He's on top of Hennig, 1, and a kick out at 1 by Hennig. Lawler trying to do some work to take out Hennig before next week's big matchup for the world title. But he makes a tag, and here comes Von Erich, and Von Erich and Hennig now going back at it as Hennig has Von Erich, and there it is! That fisherman suplex, that could be it too, and throw a kick out by Von Erich. Curt Hennig with that fisherman suplex. He has used that maneuver to put away many opponents, but the world-class heavyweight champion kicked out as Funk tagged in a moonsault off the top rope. Funk with some unfinished business against Kerry Von Erich. He's dragging him to the center of the ring, goes for the cover. Will that be enough to put away the modern-day Warrior 2 and throw a kick out at 2 by Von Erich? Throws Von Erich into the turnbuckle. Funk now has Kerry, rams him head first. Makes a tag, and we're going to see a double team maneuver on the part of Hennig and Funk. Hennig picks up Von Erich. It's a spike pile driver down to the mat. That's going to be all. But no, Von Erich. The momentum took Von Erich to the corner. Makes a tag. I don't think Hennig knows about it. Oh, but Hennig saw Lawler, and he's chopping away. Yeah, I don't think Hennig knows that Lawler's a legal man. Lawler now has Hennig. A scoop slam, no, reverted into a DDT, and down goes Lawler. I don't think Hennig knew that Lawler was a legal man. He knows now. Goes for the cover. 1, and the kick out at 1 by Lawler. Hennig looking to damage Lawler before next week's big world title match. This is a tag team match, so even if Hennig gets pinned in this matchup, no harm, no foul. Same thing goes for Lawler. No harm, no foul if he were to get pinned, but that would give the momentum to Curt Hennig and Terry Funk. And now Hennig climbing the top rope in a maneuver that's not part of his arsenal and misses a leg drop. And that has given Jerry Lawler the chance that he needs. Has Hennig up for a suplex. Down goes Hennig. Goes for the cover now. Lawler on top. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Hennig. Lawler takes over Hennig, makes a tag, and here comes Von Erich. Von Erich looking to put this match away. But Hennig has other things in mind. With a belly-to-back suplex, takes down Kerry Von Erich. Kerry fighting back, punches to the midsection. But a standing drop kick by Hennig, nicely done on Von Erich. And now a neck breaker by Hennig, and Von Erich is in trouble. Hennig makes a tag, and here comes Funk. No love lost between these two men as Funk, with a big left hand, takes down Kerry. Now Funk working the arm of Von Erich, and a fist to the head. And Funk again asking the fans here in Dallas if they like what they're seeing here. Funk saying that is your world champion, makes a tag, and here comes Hennig. And Von Erich didn't like that. Von Erich with a rake of the eyes of Hennig. We are seeing maneuvers from Kerry Von Erich. Obviously frustration has set in. Von Erich with a series of shoulder blocks to Hennig in the corner. That may have been a wise move on Funk's part to irritate Von Erich, then make the tag, and poor Hennig is taking the brunt of that punishment, as now Von Erich with a chokehold has the count of 5 to break it up, and did. And a crossbody by Hennig takes down Von Erich, goes for the cover, referee in position 1, 2, and 3! Wow, what a maneuver. Curt Hennig puts away Kerry Von Erich with a crossbody. And your winner, Curt Hennig and Terry Funk, in this tag team match. Here are some highlights from our wonderful camera system here. But a back and forth matchup that saw Curt Hennig get some momentum heading into his big world title matchup next week against Jerry the King Lawler for the AWA World Heavyweight title. So Curt Hennig and Terry Funk with a big tag team victory over the AWA World Champion Jerry Lawler and the World Class Champion Kerry Von Erich. Of course, next week, Championship Monday here on Gotmark76 this week, as we will bring you 3 championship matches. We will see the AWA World Heavyweight Champion Jerry the King Lawler defend against Curt Hennig. We will see the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship on the line when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defends against Ravishing Rick Rude. And our big main event, the NWA World Heavyweight title, will be on the line when Nature Boy Ric Flair defends against the Total Package Lex Luger. With all 3 matches being for championships, one has to wonder if there are chances that we will witness history next week or not. There's only one way to find out. We will see you then. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for Championship Monday. Goodbye, everybody.